Welcome to another episode of CannaTalk. Today I'm your host. My name is Roger Landry. I am the founder and the managing director of the Liberty Beacon Project, and we are partners with CannaSense Total Wellness. And I am a member of the collective. And today what we're going to talk about is something that pisses me off. And if I have a reputation for anything, it's the ability to rant at the drop of a hat. Okay, why was the hat dropped today? Usually it's me screaming and hollering about the tyranny in the healthcare system. Usually it's me screaming and hollering about the tyranny in big pharmaceuticals, about the tyranny in GMOs, about the tyranny in geoengineering, about the tyranny in the political system. Today I want to talk about our rights. I want to talk about this country as it was originally supposed to be for we the people. I want to talk about the ability to take care of my body as I see fit. And if my friend Daniel Crumpton was here right now, he'd be rolling his eyeballs into the back of his head because he knows what's about to come. One of my favorite quotes is from Thomas Jefferson in 1796, and I'm going to paraphrase it, where he states, when people allow the government to decide what foods they eat, what medicines they take, their bodies will soon be as sick as the souls of those who live under tyranny. Stop and think about this. Stop and think about this. Stop and think about the corporate power that is exercised in the United States and what that does to your liberty. You see, CannaSense Total Wellness is every bit as much about liberty as it is about cannabis. And so many of you out there right now are scratching your head and saying, well, what does one have to do with the other? And in that case, you occupy a caste that I identify, okay, is the programmed ignorant. And what is our mission at the Liberty Beacon Project? You can actually go look, I'm not making this up. It is the eradication of programmed ignorance, which just happens to be the name of a show I do on TLBTV. And actually runs in the time slot right before this, so some of you got a double whammy of me today, and for that I apologize. CannaSense. What is CannaSense? Why am I throwing my allegiance and the allegiance of an organization I busted my hump for 8, almost 9 years to put together, for something most of you out there are saying, but that's illegal? Well, it's not illegal so much in so many states anymore. I think there's like 23 or 25 states out there that have it legalized at least to some extent, whether it's medicinal. There are quite a few less that allow it for recreational. There are some states out there that do, and there will be more coming on the wagon because the politicians are starting to realize that this is what the public wants. Oh, gee, what about all the rest of the things we want but never get? But I digress. So, we sit in a situation right now where whether they like it or not, the people have made up their mind. If you look at any polling that's been done recently, what you find is that a clear majority of Americans wish, and a large majority, wish to see medical cannabis. And an almost insignificant amount less would like to see it legalized in all aspects, whether it's recreational or whatever. I'm here to tell you that what CannaSense Total Wellness believes, and what I believe, is that the government has no right, legally, to tell you what medicines you take or what goes into your body. Now let's hearken back to something that was said in 1796. Think about that. And find yourself comparing it to the situation we have today. Because DuPont didn't want their products, okay, which were the new plastics, the new microfibers, the new whatever, okay? These type of things, and the massive investment in hemp, and now we go to Big Pharma, and we talk about actual marijuana, which is what it was called, and it's still called by a vast amount of people. And what you realize is that these were a natural threat to both Big Pharma as well as those who made things like, oh, I don't know, concrete, those who made things like, I don't know, fibers for just about anything, from clothing to whatever. We're talking about, when we talk cannabis, one of the most versatile medicinally plants on the planet. Matter of fact, the human brain has cannabinoid receptors in it. Yeah, I actually said that. I dare you to think I'm lying. Go research it, okay? So, okay, and then hemp, which is the miracle plant of all miracle plants, not only does it contain the CBD, it doesn't contain the psychoactives that like cannabis does, or at least at an extremely reduced level, but the fibers from hemp, you can do anything with them, and it's all renewable. And it would literally put so many, between the two of them, so many people out of business, that the only way that this could ever be allowed would be if it was a total monopoly of these companies and these cabals I'm speaking of right now. And this is what it is. This is what's under my skin. This is what's pissing me off. I've been working with CannaSense Total Wellness for over 2 years. We have been pushed around. We have been kicked in the, well, the groin area. If anything, I have a reputation for blatantly telling the truth, and if what I have seen behind the scenes, and I have seen behind the scenes, was anything but exactly what I'm telling you right now, I would be beating the drum louder than anybody else. This is CannaSense Total Wellness. These are people who spend their time and their effort with zero reimbursement, making sure that anybody, listen to me, anybody, anywhere in the United States with a legitimate doctor's recommendation can report for cannabis, medical cannabis, can receive that medication and utilize it. So, how do you do something like that, okay? We just got done talking about all of the tyranny. We just got done talking about, how do we do something like this? How? So I'm going to explain something to you. Actually, I'm going to read it to you. And prior to doing the show, and without anybody knowing, I went to the board and I asked them if this was legitimate text, and I was told it's pulled straight from the website. So by reading this to you, I'm not giving you anything that you can't get by going straight to the website, but this fits into this point of the conversation. And if you just read it, you may have some questions. I may be providing some of those answers at this point. CannaSense it's a unique organization. So let me give you a little bit of explanation. CannaTalk presents, what is CannaSense? CannaSense is a medical cannabis collective that helps patients in all 50 states gain access to cannabis medication. We do this with a streamlined process in strict compliance with the Compassionate Use Act of 1996, the Affordable Care Act, and the U.S. Constitution. It is important for each patient to understand the legalities involved, the cost, and the benefits of cannabis medication. Cannabis can be used to treat a large number of illnesses, from anxiety, depression, and PTSD to inflammatory and autoimmune disorders, as well as many forms of cancer and chronic pain. Unfortunately, there are many states in America that have not yet passed medical cannabis laws, and it is still listed on the federal level as a Schedule I narcotic. Despite these obstacles, CannaSense has a solution for any patient in America who needs access to cannabis. So, How is this legal? CannaSense is developed, tested, and refined over 13 years, okay, using existing law as an avenue for patient access to cannabis in all 50 states. The Compassionate Use Act of 1996 is a California law that allows anyone to become members of a cannabis collective with the recommendation of a doctor. Article 4, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution says, full faith and credit shall be given each state to the public acts, records, and judicial proceedings of every other state. And the Congress may by general laws prescribe the manner in which such acts, records, and proceedings shall be approved and the effect thereof. This means that Article 4, Section 1 ensures that states respect and honor the state's laws and court orders of other states, even when their own laws are different. It is also known as the Reciprocity Clause. Under the Affordable Care Act, patients can see their doctors through telemedicine services from the privacy of their homes. Internet-based video conference calls enable their doctors to write prescriptions and recommendations in a legal and acceptable fashion without leaving home. CannaSense partners with California-based telemedicine physician services to provide easy access to patients for a teleconference appointment with a California doctor who will give them a treatment plan, a physical medical cannabis card, and a signed recommendation for membership with CannaSense. Legally, under the provisions of the ACA, this is the same thing as the patient traveling to California to see the doctor in person. When a patient uses the CannaSense process, it legally makes them a California patient under the protections of the Compassionate Use Act. Even though they may live in another state, through this process they are California patients. After the recommendation from the physician is attached to the CannaSense sponsorship form and submitted to CannaSense for approval, which usually takes 1 business day, they are assigned a patient ID and they are able to log into their account to order from the apothecary store on the CannaSense website and so forth. For more information on the larger legal structure under which CannaSense operates, please read official legal statement, which is all part of the website. There are several legal safeguards with CannaSense, the first of which is our compliance within the legal framework mentioned above. The second is the medical card, which in many cases can shield a patient from scrutiny by agents of the state. The third is the discreet way we ship the medication. We ship right to the patient's home in nondescript packaging without labels indicating the contents of the package, thereby protecting each patient's privacy. Also, the patient's credit card statements are completely without any red flag terms. The greatest benefit of being a patient with CannaSense is the CannaSense Foundation, whose primary purpose is to provide legal defense teams at no cost to any patient or member who has legal issues as a result of using cannabis. I won't go into a lot of detail on this because I haven't asked the appropriate people if I could. I do know that there have been CannaSense members that have been or have had legal issues. I will say this, and please don't ask me to take it further because I won't. I don't know of any that have ended in jail time. You can extrapolate from that in any way or any fashion you wish, but there, I'm sure, will be much more information on that coming in the near future. All right. This is what CannaSense is. This is what CannaSense does. It's called CannaSense Total Wellness. I personally know the individuals, okay, who make it their daily concern to ensure that everybody who needs it this medication is available to them. And again, for all of those out there who want to say they're doing this because they're greedy, none of them are drawing a paycheck. This is all being done for two reasons. It's all being done to provide you with the medicines you need, and it's being done to reinforce the fact that the government doesn't have the right to tell you what medications you can and cannot take. Let's come full circle. Let's start to close this out with a quote I brought it in on. When the people let the government decide what foods they eat and what medicines they put into their bodies will soon be as sick as the souls of those who live under tyranny. This is a man who had just seen himself and a birthing nation through that tyranny. Did he know of what he spoke? Yes, he did. Did he know of the power of tyrannical government? That's what they had just pushed back against. I will stand behind any member of the board of directors for CannaSense. 100%. I know these people have only your best interest at heart. I see it on a daily basis. They have been tested. And I won't go into that, but they have been. And they all had a chance to cut and run. And they didn't. And one of these days I'll be able to give a great shout out with their names and tell you who they are. CannaSense Total Wellness is there for one reason and one reason only. I literally have published, I don't know how many articles, but it's more than a dozen on cannabis, on studies proving, the health benefits of cannabis. I could list them, I could start listing them right now, and this show would be 3 hours long. The whole point of this is, we will not, as an organization, the Liberty Beacon Project, put this much effort, this much credence, and this much support in any organization that we feel does not have the benefit of we the people at heart. So I had to do this. We had a totally different show set up for today. We were going to do a roundhouse of some individuals from the collective and discuss each and every one of their viewpoints. But I'm really, really getting tired of the attacks that are being, perpetrated by, whether it's trolls, whether it's shills, whether it's big pharma. I don't give a damn. We're looking at something that can benefit so many people immediately. And it's something that a vast majority of we the people, the true sovereigns of this nation, have decided we want. So now you understand why CannaSense Total Wellness is just as much about liberty as it is about medicine. All right, everybody. Again, a little bit off the beaten track here. I usually don't do these for CannaTalk. Every once in a while I will. I just felt this needed to be said. I wish you all a very, very pleasant day. Hey, and by the way, when you get done listening to this show, right below there's going to be a link, and a really big, nice, pretty ad for CannaSense Total Wellness. Click on it if you want to find out more. It doesn't matter what state you live in. Y'all have a really good day. Thanks for listening.